Hey everyone, Skirmish here. So, I'm here to talk about the video trending at the moment in archery communities everywhere. The new Master Archer, the new Robin Hood, Lars Andersen, who is crap. Let me explain. Lars Andersen is an amazing showman. He's an amazing trick shot archer. He's not a very good archer. Why? Because his ideology that he's selling as a brand new ancient art form that's re-emerged into life is crap. The points he talks about are all things that look very, very impressive short term, but in an actual battlefield or target archery, or when you're trying to kill someone with an arrow or something with an arrow, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So I'm going to go through a couple of points, just anyone's interested can listen in. So, a couple of things. First thing is ancient manuscripts. He has read many ancient manuscripts. Doesn't list any of them, but you get a couple of pictures of what he's assuming looked at. And in these he says that the new ancient art form puts the arrow the other side of the bow. Why? You don't really get told why. It's quicker. It's not really quicker. I mean, you can go from here and the arrow's ready. Or, like all the other archers, you tilt your bow slightly and goes. So half second. Half second. Seems just about as quick to me. Reasons why you do that. It was done. I'm not saying it wasn't done. It was done. The problem is, when you draw back your bow, all the way back to your face, and you let go, it comes off your fingers. Now, I'll get in close and show you guys this. When it comes off your fingers, if you look at it from behind, the last bit of resistance is on this side of the bow, there. The last bit of friction as it comes off. And if you watch, you can probably hear that, but you get this vibration of your string. If you're pulling off like I do, and you pull off in the Mediterranean draw, you want the arrow the opposite side that your fingers are coming off. This is because as this arrow comes flying off this bow, it needs to bend around the bow. Otherwise, if you're looking to hold this straight, you see how my arrow isn't going to come off straight. It's going to come off at an angle. So you want to bend around the bow. Okay? Hence, if you release that way, the string moves towards the archer, bending the arrow outwards. So you get this archer paradox that you see, which looks absolutely great in videos, where it sort of does this sort of fishtailing thing towards the target. If you try that, and I have, this way, what you tend to find is your shots fly off unpredictably, just to say the least. The problem being is that you do this and your last bit of resistance comes off here and you flick it and the string then moves towards the archer. That means the arrow moves outwards from the archer and goes way left for me. Now it's quite dangerous, to be honest. The reason that it was done was, you see it a lot with Mongolian horse bows and other bows that use thumb rings to release. Reason being is if you wrap your thumb around, I don't know if you can see that, but as you release it, the last time you touch it is on your side of the bow, which means the bow string moves away from the archer. If it's moving away from the archer, then the arrow tip this end, I'll show you, will come across the bow and move in towards the archer. So it makes sense to put it on the other side of the bow, yeah. But Lars doesn't release with a thumb ring. So what's he doing? The reason why he's probably not squiffing shots miles off, and I'll come and talk about this loads in this video, is he is shooting at about 5-10 meters. I could probably throw arrows 5 or 10 meters and get them in the target center. Probably wouldn't stay in there very long, but I don't see the point of it. So let's move on to the great Lars Andersen. Doesn't require any fixed anchor point, but can shoot from any place with accuracy and things, just like the masters of old. No, he can't. No, he can't. Again, he's shooting at 5 or 10 meters. At 30 meters, was it 18 meters? 30 meters, I managed to hit a target, draw my bow back fully to my face, and then I moved it out a little bit and said to one of the girls, "Watch if this hits." It did hit. Problem being is it hit on the very outside of the target. Now, the reason why archers have a anchor point is that when you hold this back and you draw it back, you want everything to be in the exact same spot it was last time you did it, because that trains your brain to know where the arrow goes, especially with traditional archery, but even in compound and recurve archery. You see, they have what's known as like a shot cycle. It's arrow and bow, hold bow, get into draw position, draw back to anchor point, release, touch second anchor point, listen for target to hit, lower bow arm, look where the arrow's gone. The reason why you do that is because you're training your muscles. You don't need to think when you shoot an archery. There are blind archers that can shoot really well because they have muscle memory. By pulling that back and not really paying attention to where your fixed anchor point is, you're doing a couple of things, right? For a start, you're not giving yourself necessarily the same draw length every time. And I will talk about this in a bit, Lars. Not getting the same draw length every time. Secondly, you're not giving yourself a fixed point so you know where that arrow goes. You're also probably quite damaging yourself, especially with a heavy poundage bow like this. This is 65 pounds. If I drew it back and then started moving this arm about and leaning up, you're probably going to twist your spine, you're going to hurt muscles, you're really not going to do yourself any favours. So I don't like that. You need a fixed anchor point. There are reasons why everyone does it. It's not some ancient art form refound. It's you being a bit silly. So, going back onto his medieval histories bits, and he looked through all these ancient scrolls, and doesn't say what any of the scrolls are, but he looked through them. He shows pictures of people doing as he says with the arrow on the different side of the bow. Then immediately after it shows us something else he can do, and the scripts are showing it on the normal side of the bow. So obviously it wasn't consistently done. As I say, it was done, but not consistently. That's a bit silly. Lars Andersen can also shoot 3 arrows in 200ths of a second, or whatever the hell he says. Great. Fantastic. I can't. I can shoot 1 every 5 or 10 seconds. If I'm rushing, and I don't care where they go. The reasons why it takes so long to shoot an arrow is because you're trying to go through a shot cycle. You want everything to be perfect. You want the arrow to go where it always goes, where you train yourself to luck. If you're shooting them quick, as I said, you're getting everything wrong. And the reason Lars can do it quick is he half draws. He does this really strange thing where he sort of knocks his arrow, and knocks them pretty quick with his weird hand draw, which I'm, again, not a fan of because I probably end up shooting myself in the foot. But he does this thing, and he pushes this arm out as he draws this back. Now this is similar to a kind of way that some longbows draw, where you bend both arms as you bring them up to get that full release. Okay? Problem being is that because he doesn't have a fixed anchor point and he's shooting quickly, he just goes, and if you watch, he's either shooting really close at something, or he's shooting miles away and the arrows are landing nowhere near each other. Lars has never won a competition by shooting 3 arrows in 0.3 seconds because you don't do it accurately. His trick shots, going back onto these. Have you ever been on Instagram? Type in archery. Have a look how many people have golds. A lot. Me? Yeah. If you look at my Instagram, every single shot I shoot's a gold. Is it really? No. Sometimes I entirely miss the target. Do you know how I get every time gold on Instagram? Because I pick and choose what I put on there. Lars has probably spent a good couple of months, weeks, days, whatever, formatting that video, making sure that the shit bits are left out. He's going to ensure that every shot you see looks amazing. And he just steps up and just does this shot and it was awesome. How many times do you reckon it took him to shoot an arrow out of the air? 1? 2? I'm reckoning about 40. It's a numbers game. You do it long enough, you'll be able to actually get that arrow to go there. But until you do, it's useless. So, what else have I got to say about Lars? Not much more. I just think that it's all well and good and the videos are entertaining. However, that's not archery. That's trick archery. It's the same way that people who can do card tricks don't usually win at blackjack. It's a clever idea, and if you practice it loads, you can get good at it. It's not a master archery form. It probably never will be. If you want to learn proper archery, go along to an archery range, meet some people, talk to them about it. You want to learn about ancient history art form? Read Toxophilus by Roger Ascham. Actually have a look at some scripts yourself. But don't believe this crap that's just popped up on the internet. And it looks cool and it's another phase. And whatever you do, don't send it to anyone who does archery. We're fed up of having it already, and to be honest, as soon as we see it, none of us actually believe it's any good. So that's all I've got to say. Thanks for listening, guys, and skirmish out.